Howdy, howdy, folks. Once again, this is Donnie coming at you with another Linux security report. And this time, I actually have something from Facebook. And I cut off the guy's name here because my point is not to embarrass him. I don't want to cause any embarrassment to anybody. But he posted this little problem in one of the Linux users group. And he said, well, I thought a few hundred heads are better than one. Someone managed to gain access to root on my Debian system, and I want to know how. The history is wiped clean. How can I investigate? Well, rather than directly answer that question, well, I did directly answer the question because I said that most likely you had the root user account set up with a weak password, and somebody was just able to do a guess on that password. Now, the guy did not say anything about how he had his system set up. I don't know if somebody compromised the system locally from inside or whether he had an internet-facing server with the secure shell enabled and with the root account set up so that people could access it via the internet like that, via secure shell. I don't know. But anyway, I try to cover all bases here with some recommendations on how he could prevent this from happening again. First off, set all user accounts with the appropriate levels of sudo privileges. Okay, so in other words, don't have that root account enabled. You can just completely disable that root account with that sudo passwd-l root command and have everybody who needs root privileges set up with sudo with the proper level of sudo privileges. Not everybody needs full sudo privileges. You don't want everybody to have sudo privileges, and some people won't need sudo privileges at all. Just set them up with whatever they need to get their specific tasks done. So if you have backup operators, give them sufficient sudo privileges to perform backups. If you have users who need to update their systems or to install software, give them the privileges to do that. But, don't give people full root privileges, full sudo privileges if they don't need them. And also, I said, if this is a machine that you need to remotely access via secure shell, set up a key exchange with all the users who need remote access, and then in the sshd config file, disable the ability to log in via username and password. And that will also go a long ways toward enhancing security. So the basic points here I'm trying to make is that everybody and his brother knows how to attack the root user account when it's enabled. And this is an especially big problem if you have the root user account enabled and you have it set with a weak password that can easily be cracked. There are automated tools out there that people can use to crack into people's user accounts just by doing rapid-fire guessing of what the password could be. If you have the root account enabled, then everybody and his brother knows to attack that account. They know that that account has the full administrative privileges that allows them to do anything if they correctly guess the password. So then when you set up a normal user account and you give it sudo privileges and then you disable that root user account, nobody will know which account to attack because nobody knows which account, well, they don't know the name of the account that has full sudo privileges. So that makes things much, much more secure. And then, of course, another problem is if you have the root account accessible via secure shell on an internet-facing server, because you have bots out there, like the Hail Mary Cloud, for example, which continuously scan the internet looking for internet-facing servers that have username and password logins enabled for secure shell. And when those bots find machines that have that username and password login enabled, they will start attacking that root user account. And so if the root user account is enabled, and especially if it has a weak password, these bots can break in. And yes, it has happened. There have been some celebrated cases over the past few years where this exact scenario has happened. And so the attackers then will break into these internet-facing servers through that root user account via secure shell. They'll plant their bot malware or their crypto coin mining malware or the ransomware or whatever else. So by leaving the root user account enabled, and especially if it's available via secure shell from an internet-facing server, when you're doing a lot of the attackers' work for them. You're just making it really, really easy for them. So just don't do it, okay? Just don't. And this brings me up to my book. All the things that I've talked about and much, much more. I show you the techniques here in my Mastering Linux Security and Hardening book, available from Pact Publishing. Now, the thing is, through 21 March 2018, that's only a couple of days from now, you can get the ebook version of this book for only $10. Now, that's the price of a couple of overpriced lattes from Starbucks, so it's a great deal. And after 21 March, the price will go up, so definitely, if you want a copy, be sure to check it out. I will have the purchase link in the description below this video. So anyway, that's all I really wanted to talk about this time. I made it short and sweet. So if you like what you see here on my channel, be sure to like and subscribe, and we will see you next time.